Hi there, this is Carol Tudor, Nurse Carol, or Aunt Carol, or Mrs. T, or CT, or some people call me Carol, but most people want to call me Miss Fry. And I've been married to my wonderful husband for 23 years now, and I still get called Miss Fry. I was one of those people that was single a long time. I didn't get married for the first time until I was 47, and so I got christened all my old staff members, older teachers and people that I remember. Brother Sprunger, he called me Miss Fry and I'd been married 10 years or so. And so anyway, a lot of the girls though that I taught, they tune in and they want to still think of me as Miss Fry. I have had different jobs, but nursing, counseling, and teaching are my favorite jobs. I like to think of myself as a coach, coaching people, and especially through the medical maze. Hi, Stephanie. And so I have a lot of different titles, and I'm now adopting everybody because I don't have any living family other than my Tudor family, which is far, far away in Miami. I have a couple cousins I haven't seen in many, many years, out in Pennsylvania and maybe West Virginia, and one in Ohio, first and second cousins, and not in contact, but no siblings. My siblings are all in heaven. And so I want to know, can you hear me real good? I might have to sit closer. I want to make sure my sound's up. The techies. Okay, I just messed it up. There we go. The techies have told me if your sound is not good that you need to turn your sound up on your end. So hi Debbie Trader, and hey Tammy Gonzalez all the way from El Salvador. I still can't get over this technology. I will never get over it, that we can connect with missionaries across the globe. I love it. I'm amazed, and when it's used correctly, it's a beautiful medium. I love Facebook. Instagram's okay. I know I like to put more. I'm more of a word person, so I like to put more words on, and I haven't figured out yet how to put my live videos on Instagram. But I do love the fact that I can connect with so many of my heart daughters from back at the college, and or people that I met at out speaking to ladies. And I've had being a nurse 52 years. I was a hospice nurse for 5 years. I've still got patients that I am in contact with, former patients that I'm in contact with, and their loved ones that, that maybe they've gone to heaven, but I'm in contact with them, and so that's really special. I did something today. I'm pretty tired. I hope I can make this interesting about the gut. But I did 5 hours of paperwork today, but I had an assistant, and it really helped. And I got caught up. I was looking for certain medical books, and I'm trying to take some of my lectures from Hyles Anderson and put them into Bible studies. And so I did a lot of sorting, going through boxes and that kind of stuff today. And it was a very, I feel so accomplished when I get that done. And I paid the girl to help me, and I meant to put her picture on here, Esther Ruckel. She's a 23-year-old girl that goes to my church, and she's excellent she has a gift for, like, she could take a big bag of paperwork and magazines and articles and junk and sort it all out into piles. I mean, and not take forever. And so anyway, that's what I did today, and I'm going to talk about the gut microbiome. One reason why we are so unhealthy in America. Americans are so unhealthy. We are so, we spend more money on insurance. We spend more money on medical treatments. We spend more money on hospitalizations. We spend more money on drugs than any other country. And yet, we are not very healthy. We are not healthy. We are overweight. We don't have a lot of energy. We are not healthy. We have one of the highest rates of infertility in the world, which really saddens me, because I want these young couples that are married, I want them to have babies, because they want children so bad. And a lot of it is because of our gut. So I'm going to talk about the gut microbiome today. This is not an exhaustive talk. I have not totally healed mine. I'm in the process. I can't sit here and say I've been a total success. I definitely have had improvement. In fact, I'm working on some new things that I haven't done before. And so this isn't exhaustive. I don't know it all. I'm learning. I don't want, some people will get on my page and they'll start correcting me and I'm like, please don't do that. This is just what I know as of right now, and I have read a lot. I read probably 10 to 20,000 pages of medical information or podcasts every month, and I stay very up on what the latest is in holistic medicine. And so this is about gut microbiome, which affects your total body. My verse, of course, is always, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You've got to learn. You've got to become responsible for your temple. I was just like you. I was a nurse. I thought you went to a doctor, you took a pill, you ate whatever you wanted, and they would make you healthy. But doctors, all they are involved in is disease. They are not involved in health. They want to treat disease. And that's why a lot of times you'll go there and they'll run all these tests and they'll say there's nothing wrong with you, and they'll give you a different variety of different drugs to go home and you're not sick. But the truth is, so many of us have chronic illnesses. We have fatigue, we have insomnia, we have hormone imbalances, we're overweight. And all of those things matter when it comes to the total picture. I'm a holistic nurse. I love that functional medicine looks at the total body. Hi, Pat Carr and Leanne Lopez, I see. And Sheila Simpson, I see her. And good friends. And so our bodies all are together. Every system is together. In traditional medicine, you go to an eye, ear, nose, and throat for a throat problem. You go to a gut doctor for a stomach problem. You go to a foot doctor for a foot problem. And everything's all separated. There's very little communication right now in the medical world. We're into socialized medicine. I say this over and over because people still keep going to doctors. They still keep thinking, and they want everything free. They want insurance, and they don't want to pay for anything. They don't want to change their diet in general. And so then, but folks, that's where it's at. We have to become self-treaters. I don't want to go to doctors. That's not where it's at for me. Now, I do have a natural practitioner, a natural nurse. I have a natural NNP, and I have a holistic doctor who, and actually is a naturopathic doctor who I get my infrared saunas at. But everything I do is body work and food and herbs and supplements. And today I'm going to tell you how to heal an infection. But first I'm going to talk about the gut biome. Let me have a prayer. Father God, I pray that you'd guide me tonight. I'm tired. I pray you'd focus my mind, put blinders on my eyes, and help me to focus and help me to stay on my outline that I have in front of me. Father, I thank you for these people. I pray you'd bless this. I ask that you would help people to get answers, help them to get to the root problem, help them to step up and make a change, get a juicer, start eating cleaner, anything they can do. I ask, Lord, that you would let that happen. Pray that you'd bless the missionaries who hear me, and I pray, Lord, and I thank you, Lord, for their faithfulness to the ministry and to the gospel. And I pray, Lord, you'd bless this video in Jesus' name, amen. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we don't have knowledge. I thought about putting a video out. Why are Baptists so sick and unhealthy? And the truth is, we follow the Bible about a lot of things. When I was a young woman in my 20s, 30s, 40s, I was out soul winning hours every week. I was on a BIS ministry. I was busy, but I totally neglected my temple. It's just not something that we emphasize or teach. And I started at age 45, 25 years ago, and I made a big change. And so our gut flora, okay, now you're hearing it everywhere. Back when I was in my 40s, you just didn't hear it that much. But now you hear everything. The gut-brain connection. You hear this gut biome, gut flora. And the word guts, it sounds a little crass, but it's a lot better than saying the large intestine and the small intestine. I'd rather just say the gut, so it's shorter. The gut flora, okay, that's millions of microorganisms, that including bacteria and fungus that live in the digestive tract of humans, animals, and insects. Everybody has it. And there's a thin mucousy lining, thin sticky mucus lining in your GI tract that's made up of the immune cells and immunity components. And in that biome, okay, we were given immunity when we passed through the birth canal. We actually got it from our mother. And that's why you want to have natural birth if you can. And so we have we're born with a biome, natural gut, and there's E. coli in there. There's good bacteria, okay, there's bad bacteria. So this good bacteria has to be nurtured with the right foods, and I'm going to go into all that, but the gut is the main location of the human microbiota, which is bacteria, viruses, fungus. And when you have any invaders, like parasites, they enter through the mouth, hands, the rectum. They start in the gut. And so the gut is what has your access to your white blood cells, your immune system, your your gut biome plays a key role in digesting food you eat and helps in absorbing your nutrition. So what's happened, and of course, remember when we found penicillin, everybody was thrilled because it saved lives. By the way, and I said that on my post, I'm not against antibiotics in a life-threatening situation. What I'm against is the way they're overused, and of course I was a victim of that. And so antibiotics have been overused, they're not even used properly, which has caused a great imbalance in the good and bad bacteria that exist in your biome. 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So if you don't have a healthy gut, you're going to have problems. Very severe allergies, asthma. There's a lot of symptoms. I'm going to give them to you. But why we have so many issues in America, I think, is a lot because of the bad diet. The bad diet and the antibiotics have really hurt us. So your gut flora it's microorganisms. They're tiny. You can't see them, and it's very crucial now to see if you can reset it. I'm in the process of trying to reset, actually my husband and me. Both of us are working at getting rid of an overabundance of the wrong bacteria, which sometimes you've heard the term candida. Candida is a yeast, and by the way, candida is normal, it's in your body, but once you start taking antibiotics, the candida gets out of balance and you get too much of it, and then you crave sugar. A lot of it is craving sugar and yeast, and you crave things that you don't need. You say, well, what impacts the gut microbiome? There's 6 things. One's diet. Second is stress. Stress has a great deal to do with your gut. Third is pharmaceuticals. Okay, not just antibiotics, steroids. There's other drugs that are very hard on the gut. 4 is life cycle changes. Example, children versus older people. The aging process. 5, the birthing process. If you came through the birth canal or you were a C-section baby. Because coming through the birth canal, it's interesting. God did it all right. And it's I love my life, and I don't look at politics much, and I don't look at what's going on much, but it's so insane to try and say that you can change somebody's gender. God planned the whole thing beautiful. So when a baby comes through the birth canal, part of the squeezing of the baby coming through the birth canal is it gets rid of the mucus that's in the lungs from being basically in a bubble of water for 9 months. That's one of the things. The other thing is the natural immunity of a woman, from her vagina, from her colon, from her body. The baby comes through the birth canal and gains that, and it's part of the natural plan that God had for a baby to get their immune system, And they're antibodies, that's the word I wanted, antibodies against disease. And so the birthing process is very important. And then number 6 is the infant feeding method. Example, were you mother's milk fed, breast milk, or were you bottle fed? And I don't mean bottle fed, I mean in formula. Sadly, I was born at the time when, in the 50s, when breastfeeding was not popular, and basically everybody went on formula, and that is really bad for the gut, really bad. And so 6 things impact your gut: diet, stress, pharmaceuticals, aging process, the seasons of life, birthing process, and the infant feeding method. And that's why I take a medical history when I deal with people. All of us are unique, number 1. Number 2, we're unique because there's only one of us. These fingerprints, there's only one. And of all of the billions of people in the whole world, there's only one Carol Fry Tudor. Thank the Lord. And so we are unique, not only physically, mentally, socially, we are unique as far as our medical history and what has been put into us. Now, I'm blessed that I've been able to sustain a clean diet for 25 years. I took some greens. I drink my greens. I eat my greens. When we have our pizza, we dump greens on top of it. You know, greens are just awesome. Greens are like, the chlorophyll in greens is like 1 molecule away from your blood. And your blood, greens are just, they're so good for everything. Spinach, I don't know if you know what arugula is, but arugula is a spicy green that's really delicious with certain types of vegetables and fruits. And so I am blessed because I did change my diet. However, I'm still fighting some issues. The thing about antibiotics, okay, and I want to talk about this because I think this is one of the major reasons we have the issues. Now, I think I've got it because my history is not a good one until age 45. I have a double whammy, and I've actually been on medications. I went on 2 medications for candida, which is a young yeast infection caused by overuse of antibiotics. I was overtreated with them, and so I have even been on medications which are not my favorite. But I took nystatin. I took some things that are with less side effects to try and kill it. So I've been after it for about 20 years, and it is very hard to regain gut health. You have to really make some changes in several areas. I don't want to dishearten you. But I do want you to go after it. And I don't want you to don't be disheartened, because you will have to work at it if you've lost your gut health. How do you know if you've lost your gut health? Well, one thing, if you're constipated all the time, constipation or diarrhea or both. Antibiotics, of course, what they do is when they kill, let's say you had a strep throat and you took antibiotic, it kills a strep disease, streptococcus, which is the bacteria, but along with it, it kills the good bacteria in your gut. Sadly, back 30 years ago, they didn't know to give you yogurt or give you something, there's probiotics, things you could take to supplement and treat the side effects of an antibiotic. Would I take it? Yes. If I was in the hospital dying and they said this antibiotic would save my life, I'd probably take it. But I haven't had one. I think I've had one in 25 years. And I only took it because I had a kidney stone that was too big to pass, and I had a blocked kidney, and so I took 2 doses, that's all. And my doctor knew I didn't want to be on it, and I went home to a natural one. And so the consequences of overuse of antibiotics is either chronic constipation, chronic diarrhea. We've upset the sensitive flora, okay? And the antibiotics actually teach the good bacteria to go bad. Sort of like a gang in your gut, And so these antibiotics, they get you to convert your good bacteria to go bad to bad. Antibiotic resistance has soared. And by the way, if you're using the hand sanitizers, try and get the ones that are antibiotic free. There's things in those that, everybody's using that all the time. And there's antibiotics in it, and that's making your body resistant to antibiotics. I use something I bought. I've got a couple little 4-ounce spray bottles I carry with me, and one is doTERRA On Guard, and one's a thieves spray, and somebody gave me, and I have one from the health food store. So I use, and they have alcohol, they've got either oils or they've got the right things in them, but no antibiotics and none of the other chemicals. And so we are becoming resistant to antibiotics. And that's not good, because then if you did need one, if you did, I don't even, when they work on my teeth, I don't even take them then. I use all natural. I'm going to show you what I use. You know there's super bugs now that we can't kill, and that's why. Because we've had overuse of antibiotics. Everybody loves the little 5-day Zithromax. Well, did you know that one of the major side effects is atrial fibrillation? People think nothing of popping those Zithromax. 5-day antibiotic and it's over. And it's one of the most used for sinus infections, which many times you really don't need an antibiotic. Down here in our city, one of my friends had COVID. Guess what they gave her? Amoxicillin. Well, amoxicillin's an antibiotic, a general broad-spectrum antibiotic. It doesn't work on a virus. So doctors are constantly giving out the wrong medications, which again kills our gut. Without enough good bacteria, bad bacteria grows out of control. And then let's just say you've been exposed to a couple parasites or some mold or a virus, which all of that harbors in your gut biome. That's where it lives. Then you get toxins that are creating toxins. That bad bacteria grows out of control, creates toxins that hurt the gut and trigger inflammation and can cause constipation, diarrhea. You know, most of us eat 3 meals a day. I think I eat 2 with a small snack. And my meals are way smaller than they've ever been in my life. I eat less food than I've ever eaten. And I don't need as much food, especially since I've done the parasite cleanse. But if you're only going to the bathroom once a day, which most Americans are like so thrilled if they're going once a day. Many Americans only go once or every 2 or 3 days. If you're eating 3 times a day, you should be going at least twice a day, having a bowel movement. I remember Dr. Cal Streeter used to say, do everything short of dynamite to go every day. Well, I haven't had to do that. When I'm on a parasite cleanse, I do take some herbs that will make me go more, because you want to get rid of dead parasites. But there are a lot of diseases out there now. You've got your C. diff, you've got your SIBO, leaky gut. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Leaky gut is when because of the bacteria being out of balance in your colon and your small intestine, you have little tiny, small, microscopic holes in the lining of your gut, and food gets through those holes, and those little holes, that's why it's called leaky gut. Then that food goes into your bloodstream, and it's not broken down. So your body looks at that food as an invader. Why is this in my bloodstream? And it'd be like slapping at it, okay? And your body creates white blood cells, antibodies, to try and fight the undigested food that's in your bloodstream from your leaky gut, which also causes a lot of pain, a lot of joint pain. There's a thing called SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And by the way, there are tests for all of these. There's candida infections, there's Crohn's, there's C. diff, there's chronic constipation. I didn't name all of them. There's a lot of things wrong. And people think I just have this disease. No, you've got this because of this imbalance that occurred from whatever we've done to our bodies. And by the way, I always say, don't beat yourself up. I'm still a work in progress. I lost 30 pounds, and the weight loss came to a halt. I didn't change my lifestyle to do it. It just came off because I started destroying parasites. And by the way, parasites will live in your colon, and if you have constipation, you're at very high risk for parasites, because when you are constipated, when you only go to the bathroom once a day, there's 2 more meals in there that have to come out. Where is all that stuff? They say there can be like 20 pounds of stool in people's colon. And by the way, your intestine, small intestine, it can be anywhere from 20 to 40 feet, depending on the size of the person. I've seen in surgery, they would take out like this big take out say they cut the person open, they're going to take out the entire colon and sit it on the table. I've seen that. And they're working on other things because, like for example, hysterectomy, the colon and the small intestine are all on top of the uterus. So they have to, now they just probably pull it apart, and they've probably got more equipment to do it. But back when I saw surgery in the 70s, that's what they would do. They could take out the whole, and you wonder why you've had gas pains after surgery or having a baby. And so, you can have 20, 30 feet of intestine, 20 or more. There's a set amount for each different size of body type. I don't have that memorized. But, in other words, a person who's 250 pounds and 6'6" is going to have more than a person who's 5 foot and, weighs 100 pounds. She's not going to have as much gut. But most people have lots of feet of it. Well, so you got to get that stuff out. You got to clean it out. And you've also got to make sure you don't have parasites. So leaky gut is probably the most common of all the issues that are going on. And if you have a lot of pain, joint pain, if you have a lot of stomach upset, chronic diarrhea, or constipation, leaky gut could be what you have. Some of the symptoms of of gut biome problems, out of balance, meaning you've got too much bad bacteria and not enough good bacteria. Cravings for sugar, bread, pasta. Really thinking about, what am I going to eat for dessert tonight? Okay, I've had that. Unhealthy food cravings, like for the bad things, like donuts. You really want something that's, you shouldn't eat. Processed foods. Now, if you're making a gluten-free, homemade, with all natural ingredients, bagel or donut, more power to you. I think that's great. I would love to do that. I don't think I have the attention span to do some of those things. Take a lot of steps, but I do make my own some really good cookies, and I make my own pumpkin coffee cake, which is all natural and healthy. So increasing when you have a lot of yeast in your body / candida / out of balance gut biome, you crave sugar. Sugar cravings, joint pain, weight loss or weight gain, stress, a lot of stress. The gut is actually connected to anxiety and stress, can you believe? And the gut microbes actually affect the way we respond to stress and anxiety. So your gut actually, if you don't respond adequately, or you get over anxious, or you are depressed, or the way you respond to a stressful situation, instead of remaining calm, you don't know, you can't handle it. GERD, diarrhea, chronic fatigue, insomnia, food sensitivities. Those are all signs that your gut is out of balance. Tammy Gonzalez says, one of the benefits of listening to your live video chats is it helps to remind me to stay on track. Thank you so much, Miss Tammy. Hey, it helps me too, because I know I'm going to be teaching you, and I've got to stay on track. And you know what? If you fall off the wagon, just get back up again and get back on, because we all are human. I love that verse that God put in the Bible. A just man falls 7 times, but rises up again. Just get up again and go after it. So a lot of the problems we are fighting today are because we have imbalance in the gut. Now, a couple of solutions. First of all, number one, if you have chronic constipation, you need to find out if you've got thyroid disease. There's other things, but 2 major factors with constipation is hypothyroidism and or parasite infection. I have found a place that will check you for parasites. I love my nurse practitioner. She's fantastic. I have people coming flying in. I got a pastor flying in from California to see her, and she's not accepting any more new patients right now. But if you could ever get down to go to Branson for a vacation and come and see my nurse practitioner, it would be a really great thing to do. She's extremely inexpensive, unheard of. It's $50 for a scan, where some people are paying $500 to $1,000 for a scan, $250 for a scan. She charges $50 for a scan. Her supplements work, and I will put her. Her website is powerlinehealthandwellness.com. Her supplements are very inexpensive. She is amazing. She's not in this to rip everybody off. like so many, and I hate to say this, but it's all about the money. A lot of these holistic people are charging way too much. Markup on supplements is crazy. And so if you decide you want to come, she's not, like I said, she's not accepting new patients until 2022. She's cut her hours down to take care of her mother. But there's a lot to be said about parasites causing some of the problems that you've got. And you can get parasites anywhere, folks. Don't think don't go, oh, I'm not dirty, I wouldn't have worms. They're everywhere, and I believe 90% of Americans have them. And so cats, dogs, all kinds of pets, all kinds of food, not washing vegetables thoroughly. I was very bad about that. It's still a hard thing for me to do. It's one more step I don't really want to take. And now I wash them in apple cider vinegar and water. And so, but even then you can miss, they're microscopic. You're not going to see them all. By the way, I have a friend right now that got bit by a spider and it destroyed her kidneys. I mean, there's a lot of tick-borne disease out there. Ticks carry parasites. And so if you have colon issues and you have not, and especially if you have not been over-medicated with antibiotics, I would encourage you to get a complete thyroid profile. And again, look for your holistic doctor, your functional medicine doctor, your chiropractors. A couple of things what you can do: cut out toxic foods. These are things that I've talked about before, but processed foods. Gluten is definitely bad for the gut. Do we have all these people that have celiac disease in America? No. What we have is our wheat. Our wheat has been chemically treated. Our corn, by the way, corn, it's out. It's like a fuel. Corn is like gas. Corn is one of the worst foods you can ever eat. By the way, look in the bathroom. Most people, when they eat a piece of corn, when they eat corn, it comes out whole. You're not digesting it. It's not really a food anymore. So your genetically modified foods, which include your dairy, a lot of your dairy, your corn, your gluten. And gluten, I do eat some yeast-free sourdough that's made from ancient grain. Does not bother me. But I cannot even eat some healthy organic whole wheat bread that was made right, because it really affects my stomach. So our processed foods got to go. Increase your healthy fats. Really get the fat. When healthy fats are avocado and coconut oil and nuts, all of your nuts, all your seeds. You've got nuts and seeds. And by the way, I crush a lot of mine. Makes easier for digestion. I love pumpkin seeds; those are really good for. But I will chop them up, crush them up, and put them on my salad. So you can get the healthy fats up. The internet says basically stick with a heavy plant-based diet. I'm not saying to give up meat, but they're saying heavy plant-based diet and really eat a lot of vegetables. That is really good for the gut. Of course, a lot of fiber. Your broccoli, your cauliflower, your lentils. Lentils are so good for you. And then if you eat the meat, make sure it's the clean stuff. Digestive enzymes are really helpful. According to what I've been taught, Dr. Cal Streeter used to say everyone over 40 needs a digestive enzyme because we're not digesting our food. There's an issue with, and if you don't have a gallbladder, you really need digestive enzymes, and you might need a thing called hydrochloric acid. You can private message me if you want some help with what to get. But I've talked about that before. But digestive enzymes, increase your collagen and use bone broth. What's really good is just to get yourself go to Costco or Sam's, wherever you buy yourself a clean hormone-free chicken, roast it, eat the chicken, eat the meat, and then take the bones and put it in a pot with apple cider vinegar and water, and I think there's a couple other things you can do that'll give you your own bone broth. And you can cook it 24, 48 hours on low. And there's a lot of recipes online for that, but bone broth is very healing to the gut. Of course, probiotics, a lot of people take probiotics. You got to make sure it's over 50 billion. If you don't take one that's over 50 billion, it's not going to do much for you. And it should, you can take a look at some of and in those of you that are really having issues, it'd be good to go on an expensive one for like 2 weeks. Try to really heal the gut. And I'm not going to tell you how to plan it out. You'd probably have to do some research on it. like I said, I'm still working on this. I actually bought a book called How to Heal the Gut with Essential Oils. And oils, I love the oils. I'm learning the oils, and they are amazing because, and they're the the oils, the essential oils of the Bible. They're in the Bible, and so they are topical, which means you don't have to digest them. So I'm really hoping and praying this next year, my husband and I can both improve our gut health. Next number on things to do: reduce stress and learn how to handle your stress. We've all got it. We just have to learn how to handle it. And yes, stress doesn't. Have you ever gotten in a situation and you felt your stomach get real tight? Yeah. Well, the gut is very affected by the mind and by our meditation, what we think about, if we worry, let ourselves worry. All of that affects the gut. And so right now, according to what I read, people who've had a high sugar diet and have a bad gut, leading to dementia. So if you want to save that memory and you want to improve your mind, it'd be really good to follow these steps. Cut out the toxic foods, increase the healthy fats. Get yourself organic bacon. Don't eat a whole pound of it, but organic eggs or free range eggs. Avocados, I eat avocados every day. Avocados, coconut oil, nuts, raw coconut. Heavy on vegetables, digestive enzymes. And then make sure you're getting your sleep. A lot of us have had insomnia, and it's caused by a lot of different issues. I said at the beginning of this to rule out thyroid and rule out parasites. Both of those cause insomnia. The parasites are active at night. And so I remember coming home from I went on a trip to Israel. I'm pretty sure I got one of my parasites there. It says Middle East, and I'm pretty sure I got one there, and it was in the 80s. And I remember from then on, I did not sleep well. I would have many wake-ups during the night. If you're on caffeine, you need to get off it. If you're not sleeping, you need sleep desperately. 7 or more hours a night, very much. And if you get 4 hours and go to the bathroom and then go back to bed and get another 3, that's good. But if you're tossing and turning all night, that's not good. Let me talk a minute about natural antibiotics. I have this mission. I would like to go to heaven. I'm not immediately, but I'm ready. But I'd like to go to heaven and never take another antibiotic. I'm not interested in pharmaceuticals. I'm not interested in drugs. I'm not interested in the vaccine. I already know some of the stuff that's in these things, and it's dangerous. If you started knowing and learning what's in the drugs people take, the steroids, Benadryl is taking people's memory. A lot of your stomach pills that people have been on for heartburn and stuff, very bad for cognitive issues in the mind. So the gut and the brain are totally linked, because our immune system and our body, we are a whole body. We are a temple. We are together. Everything's connected, and you can't just say, well, I'm going to do this to this part of my body and not that. I use grapefruit seed extract. You can get this. You can get the capsules or the liquid online, Amazon. This is, let's see, does it have a nutribiotic.com? Here's what I use: grapefruit seed extract, drops, and capsules. And I'm on one of these right now for a slight infection, bladder infection. And I take, it says 10 drops. I take 12 drops 4 times a day. I also use garlic. Garlic is a wonderful, God-made, the Jews ate it. It is a wonderful antibiotic. Believe it or not, you can, open this up, get a clove of garlic, cut it into pieces, and dose it just like an antibiotic. You say, well, I don't chew it. I just take it with a glass of water. In fact, I'll take it with my meal. So you can take garlic like this. Now, you could also get garlic capsules, but this is the best. You could, of course, juice this. But let's say you've got an infection. Let's say you've got and you know you have it, and you can tell you've got it. Well, then you just open up this garlic and you cut up a clove and take 1 3 times a day, 4 times a day with food. If it bothers your stomach, take it with food. You can take it with food, and take it with water, and you dose it just like an antibiotic. Do it for 2 weeks. Oregano oil caps. A lot of you people do oils, and I love the oils. And oregano oil is an awesome antibiotic. You can put it topically on the feet. You can put it into capsules and take it orally. You can actually buy oregano capsules. I had a very severe case of diverticulitis about 2 years ago. Called the oil lady, and she said, and I had a fever, and I did not want to go. I'm not going to go to the hospital. I know what they're going to do. I know what they're going to do in an ER, give me an antibiotic and a CAT scan, and I already know that. And I had pain, and I knew I had the condition, and it runs in my family. And so I called my oil lady, and she said, just take your finger on the bottle, don't shake it out like that, and every 30 minutes on the bottom of your foot, and within about 3 hours, my fever was gone. By the next day, I was out of pain. So oregano oil is probably better than penicillin. And you do have to learn. You have to look up and figure out what to do. You can private message me. Colloidal silver is another thing. In fact, I mouthwash with colloidal silver because of inflammation, because of my gums. I try to keep those healthy. Colloidal silver you can purchase online. It's excellent antibiotic. Manuka honey is unbelievable. I actually took care of patients where we were putting Manuka honey on their bed sores. Manuka honey is not like regular honey. It's a different type of honey, and it is an extremely good antibiotic. Echinacea, probiotics. Now, my nurse has a thing called a natural antibiotic, and it's used for infection, bacteria, virus, parasites, and immune system. And great price. You can order that off of Powerline Health and Wellness, and it's a great product. So right now I'm taking 2 natural things, and I just determined that no matter what, I'm going to fight this with God's herbs, supplements, food, and by the way, asthma, people with asthmatics and bronchitis and lung issues, get off the dairy, cut that dairy way down. Now I do eat some goat cheese, and when I want, now there's cashew yogurt, there's coconut yogurt, there's almond yogurt. You can get yogurts of all kinds. There's sauerkraut, there's all kinds of ways to get your prebiotics and probiotics for gut and for infections. And so I use I use goat cheese and goat yogurt because I am very lactose intolerant. And it's possible all these food sensitivities go right back to what they say your gut biome. I had a big goal to make it to 70 because number one, my mentor passed away at age 68, Marlene Evans. Number two, my dad died at 69. Number three, all my siblings are gone. My only sibling that lived to adulthood died at 35 with MS. And I was hoping that God would let me live to 70, and because I felt like that's one reason I've stayed on a healthy lifestyle and tried to do right. And so when I got to Missouri, I found out about some hidden causes of all things I'd been working on for years, and I'm just blessed. I feel very blessed that God has given me the knowledge. I feel blessed that I had great teachers. I've had so many different people to teach me, and my nurse practitioner, who's the biomeridian scan, she answers questions and teaches me, and she will take a phone call and not charge me, and I talk to her a lot. And so if you want something online, go to Dr. Josh Axe. By the way, he's a Christian. He has a website. He sells collagen. He has excellent material about healing the gut. I see Glenda Giesler's there, and I see Kit Sloan. Hey, Kit. It's good to see you, and you take care of a lot of people. You've been a blessing to so many people in the nursing home. And so anyway, I see friends from home, and that's sweet to me. So you can learn about this, and you can improve your gut health. And by the way, have you ever taken a supplement and maybe paid a lot of money for it and it did nothing? Probably you didn't absorb it. Could have been. I think my husband and I both have absorption problems. My husband was highly overtreated with antibiotics, and also in the Air Force, and also highly over-vaccinated. And so all of those chemicals, pharmaceuticals that go into our body, including vaccinations, they have permanent components that never leave your body. They have aluminum and mercury, and there's several bad ingredients in some of the different injections that people have gotten in the past. And I don't get the flu shot. I haven't had a flu shot for 30 years. And so the different vaccinations, the different chemicals, steroids are very dangerous. I can't tell you how many cancer patients taken steroids and gained 100. They went into chemo with cancer and then gained 100 pounds, and they've never been able to lose it because steroids are a hormone that change your makeup. Birth control pills, very dangerous. All of the chemicals that we put into our body, they have permanent side effects. There's a few small percentage of the people in the world that can take a drug and not be affected by it. But I guarantee you, folks, all this medicine that we're putting into our bodies and all these drugs that we're using and all these heavy pharmaceuticals, they are damaging our bodies in different ways. I was put on a medication when I was 20, and my Dr. Streeter said that 1 3-month medication rearranged your entire hormone system. And so some drugs have gotten worse, some drugs have gotten better. And we know many cancer patients who take chemo, and the cancer doesn't kill them, but the chemo does. And so be careful. If you do it, know the facts. You be smart. You take control. You look into, and don't just say, I'm going to trust my doctor. You make sure you can look everything up now. All you have to do is pick up that computer or your phone and look up. You can just side effects of. And when I want something, I looked up simple solutions for gut health. That's what I gave you. You can do that too. We have the power now in America. We have great control over our health. And just changing your food can be a huge blessing. All right, I'm going to sign off for tonight, and I'm trying to keep this under an hour. And I want to say thank you to all you folks who tuning in, and so do not be disheartened. Do not give up. Just keep learning. I love that I'm going to teach Sunday school this Sunday about how excited I am about learning. Do you know no one can keep you from learning? I'm sorry, I'm getting my little symptom, my iPad's telling me I've got 5% left. Do you know no one can keep you from learning except you and the devil? I just keep reading, and I just keep learning, and I can't tell you what I'm thinking about. If I get well enough, I will take a functional medicine naturopathic class online and get my credentials. And so I just love learning about this, and I want, if I'm alive, okay, I have a pulse, I have a purpose. If I'm going to be here, I don't want to be in a nursing home, I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I want my husband and I to be on our feet as long as we can. Hopefully the Lord will let us fly out of here. Wouldn't that be great? I always say this about being a fry. My brother was always a little jealous because I went to Europe before he did. I had a car before he did because I was the firstborn. And so, but he got to see Jesus before I did. And so my mom and dad passed away 5 weeks apart, and that was just about 1.5 years after I lost my brother. So I say, I want to be the one fry to fly up, and that's what I want to do. And wouldn't it be awesome not to have to go through the dying process and to be able to fly up and meet Jesus in the air? Well, that's what I'm looking for. But while I'm here, and God is still using me, I want to have a temple that has got some energy, I feel like enjoying life. I'm not sitting around sluggish, and I want to keep learning, and I will clue you in. I'll be talking on this subject again. I'm hoping and praying that I can learn more about how to do this, because I feel like I'm a little plateau right now, and I want to get off of it. So I thank you so much. Remember, God wants you healthy, Satan wants you sick. Eat that good greens this week, and I'll tune into you and see you next week. God bless. I love y'all.